Okay, folks, today we got Mark from Oz. It is about 9, almost 9 a.m. his time. It is just coming up to midnight my time. This seemed the best time to interface. Mark, can you hear us loud and clear?
Yes, Tony, I can hear you loud and clear. Welcome to everyone. Thanks for being here.
Fantastic. Now then, so the reason that we've got Mark on this call is Mark's going to tell us a little bit about why he needs to hire a new virtual assistant, and just kind of why in the first place he has chosen to get a virtual assistant, and probably most importantly, just his whole concept behind, how he's taken the concept of digital monopoly and really run with it. So, first off, Mark, why in the first place would you get a virtual assistant instead of doing it all yourself?
Okay, good question, Tony. All right, so effectively the reason I've always looked at the digital monopoly strategy at basically you need to think big. Effectively, what we've been given with Ben and Dr. Dan is a strategy that you can build a proper business. So because of that, you need to think big. So it hit me when Ben was explaining digital monopoly. I didn't actually really understand it till a few months ago. Digital monopoly, effectively, it's a monopoly board. You've got to get somewhere quick so you can build your red hotel. Now, a red hotel to me is basically ultimately doing a rank and rent type situation, but renting out a whole state or nationally. So to get to that, you've got to build your houses. You know, what is it, Tony? 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. You have to get
Greenhouses,
4 houses, yeah.
is basically your microsites.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your Sparksio sites. So, but to get to that and thinking big, I need help. Well, my wife says I need help constantly, but we won't go there. Anyway, so really, how valuable is your time? So think about this, is you need to leverage your time because you need speed. So this is where I came through about hiring VA. In our day-to-day business, Tony, outside of digital monopoly, we actually have been using VAs now, virtual assistants, for over 4 years. So we've learned a lot through blood, sweat and tears, how to employ them, how to manage them, and how to leverage your time. Effectively, keep this in mind, leverage your speed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can grow quick, you can leverage your time, and effectively that's why you need a virtual assistant. Now, I don't know if you guys know how much a virtual assistant is. Now we use only Filipino VAs.
Yep.
And the reason being is from time tested, they have a really great work ethic. Mm-hmm. They're beautiful people. For us, also being on the Southern Hemisphere, there are a time zone as well. Mm-hmm. But they're good people. They really, really are. Now, you can actually get a Filipino, a virtual assistant for about $150 a week. Now, that's Australian dollars. So, I think with the UK, that would be half. So for 70 quid a week, you can have someone working. And you're not, Tony, you're actually not talking about someone who's not qualified. You're talking about someone who's extremely highly qualified.
Yeah.
We were actually looking at him setting up a legal services company at one stage, and we just checked to see, can we actually get lawyers, Filipino lawyers?
Yeah.
And, for $200 a week in Australia, you can get an MBA qualified lawyer working on your staff. And people don't realise this.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what I was looking at doing is now the background is you guys may have seen some of the updates that I've done. Is our VA, who has been wonderful, has unfortunately she's been diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer, and she's just literally dropped off the earth. Yeah, so we're going to have to rehire a VA. So what I proposed to Tony is, why don't I just basically do that process over the next few weeks and videotape it and give it to the group so they can actually see what platforms I use, what questions I ask. And there's also a really exciting platform that's come up now called Gen X, which you can actually hire interns for free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and also how we manage them, because when you're working virtually, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
So what I was proposing, Tony, is over the next 2 weeks is to do a couple of follow-up videos. If this is all right with you guys, is how to vet the staff, how to bring in applications, what platforms we use, because we use one specific platform. I also wanted to test out this Gen X platform, which is hiring the interns for free. You can actually get premium staff vetted by one of the platforms. So that's probably what we're going to do, Tony, is pay a little bit extra. And because the Sparksy or the digital monopoly process for a VA is quite tricky to outsource that. So we probably need a more, what do you call it, a better VA. And that's why I'm thinking maybe pay a little bit more. And then, maybe the second week will be actually doing an interview and taking chunks of that and showing it to everyone.
Excellent. So, I've just done the exchange rate there. 150 Australian dollars is about 105 US dollars. That's about 82 pounds sterling. I do think that people often think two things about VAs in the Philippines. First off, they think you just get this. If you've seen the movie Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme, you think, Thailand, the Philippines, you think, oh, they live in the jungle. How can these people do this thing? Come on, guys, it's the 21st century. They have computers. They speak better English than me a lot of the time. So that's the first thing. Secondly, that is a really, really low wage, and are we ripping these people off? Absolutely not. The cost of living everywhere varies wildly, and that is a really great wage, isn't it, Mark?
It is. It is.
It's a very fair wage, I think,
It is, and you have to get past that, because these people are set up as VAs, and that's their job. And if they're very, very loyal as well. I mean, we've had one girl working with us now for 4 years.
Wow.
And
yeah.
They have no issue with. So you have to get past that.
Yeah. I think it's brilliant, and we are so lucky in this group to have you sharing this with us, Mark. Because I know for me, I've outsourced a few things here and there, but I really have to hold on to everything. But do you know what? There's not enough hours in the day to do all this. Like today, I'm doing this call. It's just turned midnight. I've just come back from watching David Blaine. The other day, some of you may have seen on Facebook, I went down to London for my birthday, got engaged to Gemma on stage at Hamilton. We went away on vacation.
By the way,
thank you very much. We went on vacation to Wales for a week and all that. Now, one thing you've got to get into to your mind, the person watching this, thinking, "Oh God, I could never hire somebody. I just do it myself." Look at it this way: you may have a full-time job already, but you're trying to free up more time for yourself. So it doesn't make sense to spend more time working on a business to free up time later. Just free up the time now. And also bear in mind, when you're making all this money renting and renting all these assets, you're going to need more time to enjoy the fruits of that labor. So start out small now. Just follow along, watch what Mark is doing. The only thing I ask you is please do not pester the living hell out of Mark, asking for like one-on-one VA coaching or something like this, because Mark's donating his time to the group so willingly, and we're just blessed to have him here doing this with us. So please follow along. If you have any questions or comments, that's what the comments box is for, and I'm sure you'll get your answers that you're looking for there. So that's kind of the overview, though, isn't it, Mark? So the next step is just finding people.
So the next step is I'll have to break it down. So let's say it's going to be three videos that I'll do over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Perfect.
But the first one will be is what platforms I use, how I vet staff, bringing in applications. Do we pay the extra to get a better staff member, which I've still got to do, setting up the interviews, and the second and third week will actually be the process and how to manage them, because that's the key thing, and what software we use to manage them, and Excellent. Watch what they're doing and interact with them.
Amazing. Well, listen, I realise you've got to get off to another call now anyway, Mark, so thank you so much for your time. Digital Monopoly family, RockStar Entrepreneur family, we're all one big happy gang. If you're excited for what Mark is sharing, leave us a comment below. I'm super excited about this. This is going to be fantastic. Thanks very much for your time, Mark, and thanks for doing this for us. This is information people charge a lot of money in separate courses. So you're an absolute diamond.
Well, mate, thanks to you, buddy, and thanks to Ben and Dr. Dan, because the vehicle that they've set up is allowing us to do this.
Absolutely.
And it does work.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm gonna say my little catchphrase, don't stop believing, but I'm gonna let you sign off with Ben's catchphrase, Mark. Go for it.
And don't forget, keep on rockin'. Mark from Oz.
Woo!